The new game. We're going to jump into it. Everybody ready for a new game? You can play along on the chat too. These are our panelists. You can see them. Jason Eckes, Nick McFarland, Ben. I will present some scenarios and some things. We want to hear it. You can put your stuff in the chat as well, what you think. You get 3 choices for an answer in this game. I'm going to give you a scenario. You give one of these 3 options for your answer. You can say, I don't know what the hell the game's called because I was going to call it this, but it's too long of a name, so I haven't figured out a name yet. So you can answer. I will say something. You can answer with
Ben quit.
Oh, Ben doesn't want to play. He loves games. So weird. He's having connection problems in Minnesota again. We don't know what goes on with the Wi-Fi over there. Ben,
I don't get it.
Hey,
I'm just sick of this crap.
We can hear you.
I know, that's why.
Okay, well,
I can't see anybody doing anything. I can hear you guys, but I can't see you. So I figured my video is probably frozen. So instead of having my face look stupid on there, I'll just have it be blank and just talk. Maybe that'll keep me going through. I don't know.
But maybe
it's better.
It does look better, and Ben will be kind of like the voice of God for you now. That's fine. You won't see him, but you'll hear him. All right, I get all my choices here. You can answer with, I think you're on to something. That's one choice if you're in agreement. You can answer with maybe, but I'm not sure about that. Or you can answer with, that's some crazy nonsense, Jason. One of those 3 choices. Or you can paraphrase a little bit. Again, all right, I think you're on to something, which I hope I am in some cases. In some cases, I hope I'm not. Another answer would be maybe, but I'm not so sure. And that's some crazy nonsense. All right, here we go. Ready? Now, we kind of, with a little prelude so far in the show, my first scenario statement is that second-year head coach Matt LaFleur is in charge of the Green Bay Packers. He has the most influence over the product on the field, the players, not general manager Brian Gutekunst. What say you to that, gentlemen?
Maybe.
Okay, I guess it says maybe.
Maybe, but I'm not so sure.
Okay, all right, fine. Good night. Burks says I'm on to something. Way to go, Burks. You're the smartest person here. All right, Ben.
Nope, you're an idiot.
That wasn't one of the.
Not a choice.
What? It goes rogue on the first question. What the hell? All right, Rick says maybe. Okay, so at least some people are thinking there's a chance that might be what's going on here. All right, let me make my case. I'm going to try to keep it concise. Some of these things are things I pointed out in a longer version of stuff before. The Love pick, the picks in this draft, boom, 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 boom. As we saw them, A.J. Dillon, running back in the second round. DeGuara, when he had like a 5th, 6th round grade, you grab him in the 3rd round. LaFleur's big connections to Cincinnati, wanted the guy, raved about him, all this stuff. And trading up to get Love, like all of it, all that stuff. And on top of it, I think here's an issue. Here's what's happening. Brian Gutekunst, right, seems to be a nice guy, but he made decisions before LaFleur got there. And now he's completely 180ing on those decisions. And the Rodgers contract and the drafting of the quarterback in the 1st round are the prime example of it. So that can't be the same person making that decision 18 months later. So that's why I think I'm on to something there. But you guys think maybe, at least consider. Ben says I'm an idiot, which wasn't one of the choices. Thanks a lot for that, Ben. Okay, moving on. Ready? Here's the next piece I'll give you. None of the 2020 draft picks will play more than 30% of the snaps at their positions. What say you there, Jason Eckes?
I think you're onto something there.
Good answer.
I think you're onto something there.
Oh boy. Oh, Ben's. What is it? What is it, Ben? What's your response this time?
You lost your mind. DeGuara's going to play every snap. The way LaFleur's talking about him, he loves this guy. He's going to be out there 110% of the time. He's going to make up special plays just for him during timeouts. You are crazy.
And when they get him in camp, this is the same thing that's going to happen with Dylan. I'll give you this later. This is part of my worst case scenario situation. When they get him in camp and see he's not all that they thought he was going to be, I don't think it's going to happen. But okay, good. Ben's video cut out again. He's the only one disagreeing with me. That's the way we set it up. Perfect. All right, third thing, Kamal Martin, the linebacker from Minnesota, coming off a bum knee, will actually be the most impactful rookie for the Packers in this upcoming season. In the chat, what do you think? Bring them on. Ekis, go ahead.
Nah, I'm going with the running back.
Okay. All right. Ekis is hoping for a Aaron Jones injury so Dylan can get in. Is that what- No, I know you wouldn't do that. You know,
I guess you bastard.
he doesn't wish injury on anybody.
He's Ben's keeper, so I gotta.
You're just hoping they're going to run like 80% of the time and Dylan's going to get a bunch of carries along with Jones, I suppose, maybe. All right, Nick, what do you think?
I think you're onto something there. And I would say he's the most likely to play 30% of the snaps, which means he'd be the most likely to make an impact.
Okay. That sound reasoning.
Nick.
That's-
Sounded like he actually knows what he's talking about.
It's like it's
Make it till you make it,
What's up
man.
with that?
he's drinking out of an old Eau Claire mug. The guy's got style and he has a good education. You know that. Ben, what do you say to that one?
That's the first one. I think you might be onto something. Only because they have nobody else there. So somebody's got to play. I mean, someone's got to play, right?
Well, yeah. And you got to hope.
Kirksey's got an injury history for the last 2 years.
I know. He might be.
Owen Burks can't see the field even when he's completely healthy. And Summers is like the 7th round pick and played quarterback, switched to linebacker. So, yeah, the guy's going to play.
All right. I'm hoping for Kirksey to stay healthy the whole year, which is why I put not more than 30%. I fear that he might not be, and then Martin's going to probably end up eclipsing that percent by quite a bit. So anyway, I'm still crossing my fingers for Kirksey because I think if he's healthy, he could be a big impact player for them defensively. So I hope for that. Okay. Another one. I got to give Nick a little. We had a little text exchange here. I'm going to mostly just give a little bit what I said. Nick said, looks like the schedule's kind of tough. I said, yes, time to tank and go for good draft picks that they can waste again next year. He said, no to that. And then I said, maybe then LaFleur and Goody will be gone only a year or two after running Rodgers out of town. Then whoever is next can rebuild the whole thing. We hope that's not the case. Anyway, I was being a little snarky there and upset, of course. But that does lead me into the Packers record or the Packers schedule coming up, okay? I say the Packers will be likely to be 2-4 after the first 6 games. If you haven't looked at the schedule, check it out. I'll give it to you real quick. Ben says he hasn't. They open with the Vikings, then the Lions at home. They're at the Vikings and the Lions at home, at the Saints, Falcons at home, at the Bucks, at the Texans, and that's their first 6.
Yeah, but there's a bye week after week 4.
Sure.
So we're playing Tampa off of a bye. That's why we're going to beat them.
Okay. So, Agus, you're saying?
I disagree.
Disagree. Okay. Says that's some crazy nonsense.
Crazy nonsense.
All right. Not 2-4 after 6. Nick?
I don't know about 2-4 after 6. When I looked at the schedule, I see a lot of the tougher teams that they're playing are on the road, which always makes me nervous. You know, they got the 49ers in San Francisco, and they got Tampa Bay is in Tampa Bay.
Got the Colts in Indianapolis.
Right. So a lot of the good teams that they're playing away from home, which is always tough.
Very true.
Tampa's off a bye. We'll beat them.
I got good news for that, though, Nico. Good news.
I'm ready to hear it.
It wouldn't matter if they were playing those tough teams at home or on the road. They're going to lose them anyway.
No.
So the fact that they're playing the crappy teams at home gives them an advantage to win those games. And therefore, they have a better chance of having a better record at the end of the season. Because no matter where they play the 49ers, they're going to lose. No matter where they play the Saints, they're probably going to lose. No matter where they play Tampa Bay, they're probably going to lose. Therefore, this is actually a good thing. Mr. Optimist Ben is here. Okay, I'm going to leave now.
All right. Hey, I just thought of a new question that wasn't originally on there.
Only Ben comes on the show, points out 4 straight losses, and then says he's the optimist.
It's however you spin it, right? That's how it goes. Okay, I got one for you. The Titans will rush for 200 yards in the game on December 27th against the Packers in Green Bay. Am I on to something? Maybe.
Wait, in the first half?
That's some crazy nonsense.
Not in the snow. No way. We'll have it plugged up.
With who? Please tell me who's going to plug it up.
You can put a snowman or something. They'll get them.
All right, Nick, what do you think?
Maybe, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Like I said, weather could always be a factor in a December Lambeau game. But I think if Derrick Henry gets injured from all his carries, he's not a guarantee to be playing late in the season. But I don't know who their backup is, but it's gonna be tough, no doubt.
It's gonna be rough for that, Ben.
Listen, man, I can remember Daryl Thompson, who had a 70-some yard touchdown run in the snow. And if Daryl Thompson can have a 70-yard touchdown run in the snow, Derrick Henry can certainly have 2 70-yard touchdown runs in the snow. So it's going to be definitely over 200 yards given up on the ground, unless they sure something up. As of right now, yeah, like I said, it might be by halftime that they've got 200 yards rushing, unless they fix it. Yeah, you're right. You're right on the money, like 100%. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to go now. Bye. See ya.
So far, I'm getting a lot of onto somethings here in the chat as well. So lots of people kind of thinking we're onto something. I'm not happy to be onto something here on some of these things, but I had to look at this not as a Packers fan. I had to look at this as a former journalist who is trying to become a journalist again and hope somebody picks me up and gives me some money to do it. Not going to have
Big J journalist, Big J journalism.
That's right. That's right. I learned from one of the
does
best.
Rick remember that? That Daryl Thompson touchdown run.
He probably does.
Against the Raiders, by the way. I don't know if Rick remembers that. That was the same game where Yurko jumped on Hostetler's back and rode him for a while. It was a great sack he had, but it took him like 2-3 seconds to get him down because he like rode on his back and Hostetler was like running around with him for a while. It was really weird. Hostetler was a Raider.
Wasn't Daryl Thompson like a Minnesota kid though? And
yep.
Yes, he was. He's from Rochester.
Yeah. He knows how to play in the snow, man.
Great straight line speed. He was
but he was a guy. His legs were skinnier than mine. You could touch him on the top of his, like just barely touch him, and he'd fall over. And somehow he ran for 79-yard touchdown in the snow against the Raiders.
All right.
Same game, Yurko got the sack, the whirly bird sack, one of the greatest sacks I've ever seen.
It was awesome. It was amazing. He held on that long, and also pretty impressive. I bet Jeff Hostetler could probably squat like 500 pounds because he was holding Yurko on his back for a while. That was impressive.